Rec-
All right. So it's been a busy week already. And we're already in Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, in the office. Today I'm actually at home, but tomorrow and Friday I will be doing military stuff. So I will not be at my computer. I will be on the charts, and so hopefully I'll be able to do some small short videos and whatnot, and try to keep track of what everything's going on. As it sits, I haven't really had much go on. I was looking at a few different things playing out over the past day or so in a couple of trades as it sits right now. Um, so let's go ahead and just jump through some of these things, see what's going on. So OddCAD up at this daily level, came back down. We're bouncing off of it. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to come back into this level here as a possible uh, bounce away and hopefully get into something there. Going down, so I got an alert set there. Odd CHF, let's jump back up to the daily. It looks very much the same thing. So uh, it if one's going to go, the other one's probably going to go as well. Just got to be careful, make sure, just don't overexpose myself to two odd pairs while I'm in there. I have had that problem before. As you can see down here, I'm in like 3 euro pairs. Um, but it's just one of those things. Like if things look like they're setting up, then they set up. Maybe you go in on both and you just go light. I'm still working all that out. Odd USD. Did close out of this earlier today or yesterday, one of the two. It was a nice break and retest of this level right here. Um, had I think this was a nice little winner here. Just mark these up and left them. I need to get rid of them now. So let's do that and see what the next thing is. As we look at this, looks like I'm looking back into the zone, although probably not because we've already had a bounce from here. We just haven't had a bounce very far. Looked like I did have some stuff on this lower time frame. Not exactly sure what I was looking at. Probably. Oh yeah, I do know what I'm looking at here. One of my sons was looking for a sell in the 15 1 minute. He does the 15 1 minute charts. And so he was looking for a sell back into here. I had marked up these areas here, waiting for price to see what it was going to do to break. We'd already broken out of this downtrend here. So I wasn't exactly 100% sure that we were going to come back up because we seem to be stalling up at this area. So I had my areas here, and we've finally broken down below it and closed below it. So like that's solid. So if we're to look at same thing here for continuation trade, we'd be looking for something like this with a 50% retracement in there, and then drop down to the 1 minute and look for, yeah, then so we can get this nice and marked up with the zone there. So this would be a solid place for a sell. Stop loss above there, and then just looking for a nice little continuation down for a lower low. So I'd be looking for something like this. Price comes in there, gives you a few wicks, and then starts showing some momentum on the way down. And then you set your area, set your position in. You already have stop above the wick, and do it on the candle flip, and you'll be good to go. Yeah, like I said, a little 1 to 5. Doesn't even have to be a stronger lower low. It's just there. So see where that goes. I'm not actually wouldn't be trading that one, just because that's try to stay away from these lower time frames when you start. We've talked about this before about the spread. How the spread just eats into your profits, and so you're talking about a 2 pip spread out of a 3 pip stop loss and a 5 pip gain. Like yeah, you you're more risky going that way. So let's just jump back out there. He's just doing it just for the practice and the skill set of being able to see the zones, wait for the positions to be playing out, and then taking entry. He also marks up on the daily as well for a longer term frame, but he stands for about an hour just looking at the charts, making sure that he, trains his eyes. Got to get that chart time in. CAD CHF, just bouncing between those areas here, so this might be a good area to take a support and resistance trend support and resistance trade. We have broken this level here, so if price does come back into this level, that would be a nice area for a bounce. CAD CHF, roughly the same thing. This is the only clear one though. We've had a support down here, but it's winged past it, so not exactly sure where that would be. And we haven't really had any good bounces out of here recently, so might just leave this alone and see what there is else to look at. CHF JPY, still continuing on this trend, trying to just slowly trickling down. If price does get back in here, there might be a good opportunity for just a nice little bounce out. If not, wait for price to break through and then come back. Euro AUD, same thing here. We've had nice bounces out of this. This is the next bounce out of this has only created this little high. So we've created a lower high. It's very possible that, you know, the next rung, it'll probably come down here, bounce a little bit more, but then finally break down and come down. So I wouldn't probably want to get caught in that. I'd want to wait for something like this to actually happen. If price actually breaks out of this uptrend, then that would be the next area up there. Or if price breaks up high and then comes back down, it might look. It would actually have to break this high. Even if it doesn't make it all the way back up, even if it just comes up here and then comes back down, that's when I start looking for another buy opportunity there. But it would definitely have to not just come and retest this area here, because that would just seem like a double top on this time frame, and so that would just give credibility that it's going to go down even further. Same thing here. It can't just come up here and give me a nice little double top rejection area of this area. It actually has to break and close above it before I look for buys on that one. Euro GBP, looks like we're already in this area. Once again, I'm already heavy in some euro pairs, so trying to stay away from this guy. The game plan was for it to come on down, hover a little bit in this area, and then go up. I was looking for another trade. I think this is same sun. Looking at this as Euro GBP as a break and retest as well. Given his rules and his strategy, he looks for double bottoms, and so by all technicality this fits the rule of a double bottom, so he would already be in this trade. I'm not sure if the wick area is correct. I think it actually is, so he'd be in this trade and currently still going, whereas I'd be waiting for this one to hover a little bit more, give me some more candles that stay in this area before I decide getting in. Euro GBY, still bouncing between these two areas here, so nothing new changed there. Euro NZD, waiting for a higher breakup, and then something there. I was in a trade earlier in Euro NZD and closed out early, only because it broke under this level here and closed strong, and I waited for the retracement before it get out of a smaller position, and it's just steadily been trickling through this area. No real big moves here. GBP AUD, looks like we have come and broke below this level, retested it, call away. This should be a close below. Yep, on bar close. So I'm waiting for price to actually break below this level and then possibly come back up before I touch this again. Other than that, you know, the next high is way up here, so I'm not really too concerned about it. GBP NZD, bouncing between these two levels. Alert set, waiting for those. Same thing here. This is not a really relevant zone. No, never mind. The only thing I would probably have to like give it a little bit more freedom there, as far as if I did get into another stop loss. That makes it a little bit better. Not much better though, because I mean we've only had a few bounces, and now this next bounce only created an equal high on this one. So it's like that same thing. If you're looking at this from a higher time standpoint, or, you know, zoomed out standpoint, you know, we had the downtrend, we created a lower high, created the lower low, and now we've come back and we've sort of testing the same area as that lower high. So it's like, is this really going to go higher? Should I expect this bounce, or should I expect this now to continue on with this downtrend all the way back to at least retest these areas here? Like, what do I want? What do I expect? And so I sort of expect price to break through this level here. So let's remove it. Look at that. Glad we talked through that. So what would I like to see then? I would like to see price actually break above this level and then come back and test. Yeah, I'll look for that. NZDJPY, bouncing between two levels. Not sure where this level is. I was using this one earlier, probably because I was sort of being impatient. This is definitely a respected high. It's been respected in the past before, and now we're respecting it again. This is the lowest low, so I'll leave that alone. I'll probably just give it a shorter, a little bit smaller area, see what price happens when it gets in there. Price was bouncing off this. I expected price to fall down to this level here. I was waiting for price to pull back after this big bearish candle here. It never did. We've gotten this this consolidation, this little ranging motion down here on the lower time frames. So that's not going to play out. And even if it did, it wouldn't be viable anymore, given it's not an immediate comeback and it's creating this new whatever. So whatever happens now, it would more than likely start creating its own structure that I have to be careful of. This would probably be a solid place to look at because that has not been tested before, whereas this one is a little bit sloppy. So this will be the next area that I actually look at for a trade. Here we go again with this guy. If this was actually a little bit thicker, I probably would have been able to catch that. Bounce up. Okay, we got this area here. We really got to get in there to see what's going on. It's not a very big area, and we've already had a test here and a bounce away, so I'm not sure I would actually look there for anything. I will use this one though as a zone. So if price can get back in there, we'll call it good. If price can get back in here, we'll also call it good as well. I'll use those now. Okay, you can go away. USD CHF. This has not been doing much of anything. These are the high levels that was looking at, so I'll get rid of that guy, and this is the uppermost level here. I'll use that guy. And then if price can, if price can come back down in here, I'll use that as another bounce. USD JPY, I marked this up a little bit earlier. This is what I'm waiting on here. Looks like I was looking at, is that the daily? That is the daily, isn't it? Yep, so that's a daily zone. Go back to the 30. On a 30-minute time frame, looking for a breakup, come back down and retest this level here. We had a small fake out, but never actually did anything. It would have had to have come almost all the way back here to test this high before coming back down. So this could be a fake out to actually continue on down. We still have, 2 hours left for this candle before it closes. So I mean, this can close as a nice indecision, and this might just end up breaking back into this zone here before continuing down. We'll see how that goes. Gold, same thing here. Gold is one of those pairs that I try not to trade because just the way it moves, it doesn't like me. That, or I just can't read it well enough. So I try not to trade gold. But if I were to, this is where I'd be looking at on a lower time frame. We have been ranging for a little while. That's the next zone that actually makes sense. On the hourly time frame, same thing, ranging. If you had to go any lower, we still have no clear structure or anything. We do have this, seems to be a channel that's moving its way up. So, I mean, if you could find a reason to get in, that might be it. Given, see, this would not be solid anymore. Before, this made sense. Price shot up, came all the way back down immediately in like one candle, take the entry. Now, though, when you look at it, prices come up here, came down, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, and now we're creating the lower high for possibly a break to the lower low. So if I were to look at anything for this, I would not be taking a trade on this trend line here. I'd be waiting for a break of this level and then a retest of this level before continuation down. Does that sit in line with everything else that's going on? We've had this huge recent uptrend that has now finally been broken. We did not make a higher high, and now we're slowly trickling down. So yeah, it does fit in line of a break of this trend. If I were to say, where would we expect price to get back to? Probably this level here. This one makes the most sense as far as structure wise. And so that's where I would expect price to come back to. So I don't know, that seems pretty solid to me. Gold, yeah, so we'll see how that goes. That's my analysis for gold. So as far as the trades that I'm actually in, Euro CHF, let's hop out to the daily on that one. Euro CHF, it was at another zone here. Took a buy here, waiting to see where price is going to go. Looks like we're actually going to break this out of this, and so might have to get hedged on this guy and then just wait for it to come down here and possibly get another entry there. Odd NCD at a daily zone where price is respected before. So yes, it can be a little bit sloppy, a little bit messy, but it's still a pretty solid zone, especially when you expend it out to the fast. It's only into the past. It only got sloppy when you got here. So we'll see how that goes. Hedge is already set. We're good to go. Let that play out. GBP CAD, daily zone bounce. Looking for another bounce. Even if it has to come up to the trend line, that's still a pretty solid spot to go. In a couple different positions on this one. Waited for price to pull back into the lower time frame. Nick was running this one, so this is all him, but it's the same area I would have looked at, which has been really nice. It's been really nice to come to the charts and then mark up my zones, look for alerts to go off, get into some trades, and then see that Nick has hopped into the same trades, or he's looking in the same exact areas that I was looking at. It's like, yep, good. So my training of what I'm expecting and the patience of pay is paying off. So odd JPY, same thing. We had a level here. This is an older trade. I took a buy off of this one to begin with, and then got into a sell. And so now I'm just waiting to actually get another opportunity to do something with this, which seems to be ranging upwardly, but we'll see how this goes. Euro CAD. Euro CAD, I'm waiting for Euro CAD to continue breaking down. I took some trades earlier as far as trade management, closed out of some at some loss, closed at some at some profit. I'm actually waiting for price to bounce up here to give me another entry and hopefully take this price down to at least this zone here. And then once you get there, I can actually close this guy and close that one. So that's currently where that one's at. Euro USD, I was already in Euro USD, and then this has been some ongoing stuff. We're waiting for price to continue moving on up from this zone here. It's a really big zone. So we've had a couple tests deeper into that one. That one actually still belongs up here in the 778 account, but I was already in some Euro USD trades, and so instead of splitting it between two accounts, I kept it in one account. I think I did the same thing with like NZD CAD as well. I was already in the NZD trade, and so instead of splitting it into between two accounts, I just kept it in the first one. So yeah, so here, waiting for the same thing, just waiting for a play into this. I'm waiting for a close into this level here before I can actually start looking looking to close one of these cells and then letting the other one ride out, or maybe I'll close both cells because this looks like an area that that price could come back up to if it's going to bounce at this area, and we'll have to see how that goes. If not, if I don't get a good closure in here, then we'll just continue waiting until see what happens. And then GBP on this trade, it was a lower time frame trade. Looking at the hourly, I was looking at just this uptrend that was happening here, expecting this uptrend to continue on. I got into a buy there, and it just eventually fizzled out. I had a hedge order that got triggered, and now I'm just waiting to see what price is going to do, waiting for price to get back down here, because back down here, this is a lower time frame zone that really only matters here. That was not the way it was supposed to go. It really only matters here. So let's think about this, because really, if I need to wait for anything, it actually needs to be down here. So let's ignore that guy and do just that. And actually didn't even have an alert on that one. I had an alert on this. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes, because yeah, we're creating lower highs. So we could come all the way down here and see some sort of bounce here. NZD CAD, in some buys here. This is where I was already in an NZD CAD buy down here. And then Nick also called an NZD CAD buy here. And so I took that one as well. And so that's supposed to be part of the 778 account. But so looking to just take it up a little bit higher, hopefully break these highs here. And then once we get a newer high, probably close out there and wait for the retrace. Well, not wait for the retrace, try to close out before we get a retrace. So yeah, the NZD CHF, last one. Same here. You know, we have this low area that's been tested multiple times, bounced away, and we're coming back again. Yes, we are creating lower highs on the way down, but I'm hoping that this area is a strong enough area to give a bounce, maybe even retest these highs here. The plan currently, though, is to get back into another trade to add to this trade if for some reason we break down here instead. My stop loss hedge, my hedge is way down here anyway, so it's like, it's, you know, when you look at it, I'm looking for somewhat of like this, just if it bounces. But if price can get back down here in the same area, then I'll end up closing this one at a loss and this one at a bigger profit. So, you know, have my game plan set, have everything ready to go, and then that's it. Bitcoin, I watch for one of my boys. He is interested in buying, but looks like it's not doing anything of importance. And this Bitcoin Cash, this isn't really Bitcoin. So yeah, but that's that. This is currently, I was like, if you're going to buy, you need to wait until we break some of these levels here and start respecting them. So actually now might be a good time because it might continue up from here. So yeah, that is it. Going to get back to work now, and then just keep you informed of how things go. And until then, talk to you later. Just coming back to look at that odd USD trade. Looks like it would have played out. Let's see if you would have had your zone somewhere around there. You saw that rejection there, waiting for the candle closure. Stops a little bit above that zone. And then just targeting your 1 to 1, 1 to 2. 1 to 2 would work, 1 to 1 would work. So once again, we're just going for like a lower low. It was like not even much. So it's like a 1.5. So like that would have worked out really well. But yeah, it's just, you know, what is the process? Process is you have a zone that hasn't been broken in quite some time. Comes down, you mark up your areas for where you expect price to come back and retest, and then wait for an entry, wait to see how it responds around that area. It didn't happen on the first candle, it happened on the second one, but it would still be valid. So not bad at all. That one would have worked out. Downside about the 15 1 minute though is just this huge spread, so you would have had to wait for price to come down here to actually hit a 1 to 1.5, if even that, because you got to remember, once you get in, you wait till the candle closes, and your entry's probably there. You come with that, and you still have your stops up here, and you'd be looking at, you're probably looking at a 1 to 1 by the time price actually pushes down here and triggers you out of it. If you don't close manually, you're looking at a 1 to 1. So you're losing half an hour risk of just by being on these lower time frames. So that's something you got to be careful of if you're trading these lower time frames on some of these brokers that have what was this, two pips, less than a pip spread, but you start taking into consideration a little over a pip, taking into consideration just the spread into the way price has to travel, and it gets takes a little bit out of it. Just had an alert go off, so let's see what's going on there. Oh, that's that Euro and ZD trade still going, still just trickling along. I probably won't. Let me look at this. I probably won't touch it. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up actually, because it's not doing anything. So this was the 4 hour. It was a 4 hour break and retest, looking for price to bounce, and it's not. It's just trickling along. So this would be, it's just like let's clean this up and see where we expect price to do. 4 hours not doing anything, so we'll leave that zone alone on the 4 hour. The only other 4 hour zone we have is this one down here. So that is that. And then given this uptrend structure that's forming here, I would not want to take this as a place to take a sell from, because if this is going to continue, it has to break this level. So continue up higher, and then what I would look for is a retest of this level here on the 4 hour. That would be more doable than trying to take a sell from there. So that's actually pretty good. I'll set an alert up here, waiting for price to come up here. And then once that happens, I'll come back and look. As far as the daily, we're ranging a bit. We don't really have much going on. You have this high here, this low here. Would need to see price to come back up here before we actually look into something like that for a daily level. Price would still have to come up there. So I'll just leave it alone on the 4 hour and see what happens there. Now that alert will stop going off every 5 minutes or so. So that is the game plan there for Euro NZD, and we'll just watch it, see what happens, see how it plays out. Hopefully you guys, if you're following along, then you are marking up your charts as well. If it fits your trading schedule, trading plan, then you will take the trade. So we had some stuff go off just a second ago. GPJPY, which I was in, I took a small sell from here just based upon the 4 hour. We have this area here where price is rejected. Just did my little markup like I normally do. Went down to the 5 minute. Whoops, don't move that. Went down to the 5 minute and saw that price was respecting this area right here. And so after this candle right here, I took a sell with the buy stop above here. So actually that'll be up there. Oh, that's probably already triggered. It's 5. See, this is the problem with these lower time frame trades, is chances are that's already been triggered. And if it's not triggered now, it definitely is. So yeah, so this is probably triggered. It was probably triggered at a little bit higher. So like this $10 is actually probably like $12. And now I'm hedged. I'm hedged for a trade that looking the way it's going now, it probably would have hedged me anyway, but I'm hedged at a much bigger gap. So yeah, that's that. So I can actually leave that alone, because now that I know I'm already hedged, who cares? I don't need to be alerted anymore. So that's that. see what we got. And then we'll jump out to the 4 hour. See what we have here. This could still close. This could end up still flipping. So I'll watch to see if we get some resistance up in here. And if we do, then I'll probably close this at a loss. I have to wait for spreads to go down. But Euro USD closed inside the daily channel. We're still waiting for price to bounce up from here so that can go away. Euro GBP closed inside this daily zone as well. No rejection as of yet, so we're still waiting to see how that works out. And then Euro CHF. Euro CHF has wicked outside this zone. What did I have the zone for? I am in a Euro CHF trade, but it's not really doing anything. I think this is more of Nick's trade. Why did I have that there? I think I was just expecting price to come up to these highs here, seeing what we're doing. On the daily, this is the zone that we're looking at. We had a nice push into this zone. It looks like it's closed below it, so I don't know. Curious to see how Nick will be managing this one. But until then, I will be watching it as well, and then see where it goes. It doesn't look like the next zone would be down here. I mean, you do have some. You have something like that, including those wicks there. In the past, it bounced there. So, I mean, you have that, which is a possibility to wait till price gets in there and then add another buy. As well as, you know, another buy down here as well. So those are also valid opportunities. We'll see how price goes though. So as of that, it is 5 o'clock. I'm gonna call it quits for this, at least keeping track of this. And yeah, hope to see you guys sometime soon. Take it easy. Be blessed.